Welcome to our channel. Today, we have the following news. How serious is Liu Yuning in private? Most people know Liu Yuning for his loud laughter, quick wit, and relaxed personality. He often speaks during live streams as if he were chatting with friends on the street, completely without the usual airs of a celebrity. He jokes about himself, makes awkward moments funny, and rarely tries to appear overly polished. But behind that carefree image is someone surprisingly serious, observant, and meticulous. Being relaxed, however, does not mean being careless. This contrast may be one of the most interesting things about Liu Yuning. He can speak casually, but when it comes to work, he pays attention to details that many people might overlook. Behind-the-scenes footage often shows him repeatedly studying his movements, expressions, positioning, and timing. If he feels a scene could be better, he is willing to do another take, even when the director has already approved it. His performance as Ning Yuanzhao in A Journey to Love is a good example. The character's strength was not simply expressed through dramatic dialogue or loud confrontation. Much of his presence came from restrained, subtle facial expressions, eye movements, and small gestures. Even something as brief as drawing or sheathing a sword could influence how the character felt on screen. The angle of the wrist, the timing of a pause, and the character's emotional state all had to work together. Liu Yuning seemed to understand that audiences might not consciously identify a tiny mistake, but they could still feel that something was wrong. A weak movement could make a powerful character seem less convincing, while insufficient emotional control could weaken Ning Yuanzhao's calm presence. This is why his dedication feels different from simply trying to look hardworking. He is willing to spend time perfecting details that viewers may never notice. It is almost like checking every sentence for mistakes before submitting an important assignment. There is nothing flashy about that kind of effort, but it requires patience and discipline. Interestingly, he appears to treat his fans with the same attention. Instead of relying only on standard phrases such as "thank you for supporting me," Liu Yuning sometimes remembers small details people have mentioned during previous interactions. A fan who once talked about being exhausted from work may receive a genuine follow-up later. Someone who has been dealing with difficulties may be treated as an individual rather than simply another member of the audience. Of course, some people might argue that celebrities remembering fans is part of maintaining popularity. That criticism is understandable. Yet with thousands of comments and countless interactions, remembering small details is not always easy. For many fans, simply feeling that someone actually noticed them can be much more meaningful than hearing a generic declaration of affection. His thoughtfulness also appears during variety shows and public events. When another guest seems frightened or uncomfortable, he often does not make a dramatic display of helping them. Instead, he quietly moves closer, slows down, gives a reminder, or helps reduce the pressure of the situation. These actions may not even survive the final edit, but that seems to be exactly the point. The same attitude was reportedly visible backstage when he stopped to wipe water from the floor during a large event. While others were preparing or waiting, he noticed that the wet surface could become a safety hazard. Someone could slip, equipment could be affected, and the performance could be disrupted. Cleaning it up required only a few minutes, but it showed that his attention extended beyond his own appearance on camera. Perhaps this mentality comes partly from his early years as a street performer. Working in such environments meant dealing with practical problems directly, from equipment and cables to the safety of people nearby. Small habits formed during those years may have remained with him. Ultimately, Liu Yuning's most appealing quality may not be his humor or even his success as both a singer and actor. It is the consistency between his personality and his actions. He can be loud, funny, and completely carefree in front of the camera, yet he knows when to become serious, when to be considerate, and when to step back. He does not seem to treat being down-to-earth as a performance. That may be the real meaning of maturity, not ignoring the details, but noticing them, taking care of them, and moving on without demanding recognition. So don't let Liu Yuning's carefree Northeast persona fool you. Behind the jokes and laughter is someone who pays close attention to his work, his fans, his colleagues, and even the small things happening around him. He may look casual most of the time, but when something truly matters, Liu Yuning appears to be the kind of person you can rely on.